So we've got some good old bad news next, and it all depends which side you're on. I personally think it's good news because I don't think we should be forced into doing anything, but EV sales are plummeting, and that's not because that people are hold on to their petrol or diesel cars for as long as they can. No, it's apparently because Rishi recently decided to put the brakes on banning all other car types, and so he should. Why should we all be forced to go out and buy a certain thing if we don't want to? And therefore I think that this 2035 ban is just going to be put back even further in general, letting people of course continue to buy petrol and diesel cars, which are no doubtedly much cheaper than those EV ones. But hey, I mean, how dare he spoil the EV party, right? Originally, of course, they wanted to ban the sale of new petrol and diesel cars by 2030, but oops-a-daisy! It had to be pushed back for a whopping 5 years. No doubt all the eco nerds out there will say, how dare you! I guess saving the planet can wait another 5 years! But the amount that EV sales have fell by because of this is, to be honest, quite shocking me. In September, for example, the amount of electric vehicles bought dropped by nearly 15%. And if anything, it's like the EV market itself had a collective temper tantrum and decided to take its batteries and go home. And that is, of course, despite 45,323 electric motors being registered that month. The market apparently slipped by a whopping 16.6%. And who knows, Autocar itself probably needed to take a few extra volts just to process those numbers, I'm guessing. And this, of course, let's not forget the Give Us a Break campaign. I mean, recently, of course, Rishi seemed to tear up the net zero policies, which I personally think is a good thing, because let's face it, anything that costs us a lot of money, or any more money that is necessary in the middle of a cost of living crisis, is a bit of a kick in the gonads, isn't it? But of course, it's not just because of Rishi, because Renault also have apparently made a U-turn of their own. And that is because they've decided to stick with the popular petrol model. That's cheaper than EVs, which, let's face it, with petrol, it's not hard to do, is it? With the car itself, I mean. It's like they looked at the price of electric cars and thought, nope, we're staying with the fossil fuel game a little bit longer, and therefore people can hopefully buy more of our cars. And a nuclear apparently boasts a 1 litre engine which can take the drivers from 0 to 60 in 12 seconds. And apparently it's also cheaper than a Vauxhall Corsa. But of course, Renault apparently is committed to making the fully electric switch in the future. But for now, they're keeping one foot in a petrol puddle and the other one in an electric pond. Which, let's face it, has given us all a bit of a shock, isn't it? And of course, let's not forget about VW. They've decided to press pause on the EV production themselves. The factory in Germany will be on hold until October the 16th. Meanwhile, the assembly line for the ID3 model is taking a bit of a siesta of its own. In the first 2 weeks of this month, that is. It's like the EV market is having a break, hoping that when it comes back, people will be more excited, I'm guessing. But anyway, the article says that cratering demand on the continent and the scrapping of major government subsidies to incentivise the building of EVs are understood to be at the root of the decision. And the latest data shows that electric car sales have plummeted as more drivers opt for petrol and diesel cars. And the drop in motorist purchases in EVs comes as Rishi Sunak put the brakes on banning all other car types. In a major speech delivered from Downing Street last month, the Prime Minister pushed stopping all sales of petrol and diesel cars back 5 years, and it has seen the average cost of second-hand EVs slashed by nearly a quarter apparently last month, according to research by Auto Trader. And Elon Musk's popular Tesla brand has been one of the worst affected, as well as of course other high-end models from BMW and Mercedes-Benz.